Hey guys, it's Brandon, aka Be Rich Beauty, aka your beauty best friend, and I am bankhead bouncing. I don't know why. Anyways, this episode of What's in Your Bag has the amazing, the gorgeous, the super talented, the #1 Beyonce impersonator and friend in my head, the amazing Riley Knoxx. And she's gonna show us what's in her bag and more. So you know what to do. Go ahead and grab that cocktail and or juice and let's get this party started, Fort Knox style. Let go. All right, guys, so I have the Riley Knoxx in the house. Hashtag Fort Knox is in the house.
Hello.
Hi, Riley. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, actually. You know, you look gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you. I did this for you.
Thank you.
I did all this for you.
I did this for you, too, so thank you. So, Riley, tell everybody a little bit about who you are.
Well, I am known for being the #1 Beyonce impersonator in the world. And I'm now a YouTube influencer, I guess, but I'm also, my claim to fame is that I was in Taylor Swift's video, but even though I've been performing for 20 years. But I was in Taylor Swift's video last year, then we won the MTV Video Music Award. And then I made history earlier, right before quarantine. I made history as the first transgender woman ever to perform at an NBA game. So I performed halftime at a Wizards game in DC.
You did, and you did Crazy
Yeah.
in Love, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I did 3 songs, but yeah, it started, we ended with Crazy in Love. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I only saw Crazy in Love. What 3 songs did you do so I could finish finding the
So
on YouTube?
yeah, we started with Formation, then we did, it was like a medley. We did Formation, we did End of Time, and then we ended with Crazy in Love.
That's awesome. Awesome. So you said that you've been in the business for 20 years.
Yes.
How did you come to be the #1 Beyonce impersonator?
So much hard work and determination. I always wanted to be an entertainer, and I was pushed out onto a stage by some people that I was associated with at the time when I first moved to DC, and it was just really, it was scary for me at first.
Yeah.
And I realized that I didn't look like myself, that I could just be uninhibited. And then I started working really hard on perfecting my impersonation of Beyonce, because I started in 2000, but then in 2003 is when Crazy in Love came out. And that's when I got known for doing Crazy in Love. And then she came out with more and more things. And that's when I kept doing more and more. And then just with social media, that's what caused it to really take off. And then I went viral for doing Beyonce pregnant at the Grammys and going back in the chair. And that's what caused everyone to like really take notice of me and kind of like really change my life a little bit.
Wow, that's awesome. It's so interesting how, people always look at people and they're like, oh my God, such an overnight success. 20 years, 2003. So
No.
you are a veteran in this and you're good. You're good.
Thank you. It's a lot of work. Obviously, she's the biggest entertainer of our time and the hardest working woman. So she keeps me on my toes and keeps me like, I'm like, oh, every time she comes out with something new, I'm like, crap, I got to learn that too. Like it's a lot, but I'm very grateful for my career and I still love it as if I just started. So, yeah.
So, and that's something that's interesting because the moment she does something, I feel like 3 days later, I get like the YouTube of you performing it somewhere. Like, what is your turnaround time? How do you do that?
Well, you know what it is? I make all my costumes, everything I've ever worn on stage in the last 20 years, I made it all myself. And it was all trial and error how I learned, but now I recreate things that she's worn, and I have so many references and so many videos and photos that I blow up and I make every detail, and I find the materials and I make everything. And then we work really hard. Sometimes it's like overnight, with the Coachella thing that happened overnight, went viral for that. But that literally it happened on a Saturday night, and on Monday morning I was on the news performing it. So
that's what I'm saying. Like when she drops something, are you calling up your hive, your Fort Knox, and you're like, all right, kids, let's pull it together. You're on costumes, you're on choreography. Like we got 24 hours.
Not always, but sometimes with my dance captains and like we are moving really fast with things. It's not always. Sometimes it's usually just all me. You know, it's just like I went to Michael's and to the fabric store really fast and like whipped some stuff up. I've got a closet in there that is I have I think over 70 or 80 leotards. So it's a lot.
If you don't have a leotard, you can't perform Beyonce.
I know, right? And that's not even everything. That's just the leotards. I got all the evening gowns and all that stuff too up in an archive. But yeah, and I have everything that I've ever worn. I don't really get rid of it. I just archive it and save
That's
it
awesome.
for whatever.
So I totally forgot. What are you sipping on over there?
Oh, this is my favorite drink. It's Jack with ginger beer, Jack Daniels and ginger beer. I have actually metal ice cubes. You probably can't really see them, but they're metal ice cubes that keep it cold.
Metal ice cubes. I just got the little rocks in the freezer.
What'd you say?
I said, you fancy with the metal ice cubes. I said, all I own is the rocks. You know, the little rocks.
Well, no, you know what? The reason why is because they don't melt and water down your drink.
Yeah. I love
so
that.
that's why I have to have the metal ice cubes. Yeah.
I'm going to have to get me some metal ice cubes. I love that drink. I went a little classic today, just a little vodka, a little soda water, and I did a few like slices of cucumbers floating on top. So
Oh, I love. Oh, that's really fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wanted something fresh because I know what you're gonna bring all the smoke with what's in your bag. So Riley, kick it off for us. What are your must-haves for Riley Knoxx to have?
So I didn't even tell you that. I didn't even tell you that I used to be a makeup artist. So whenever I'm on stage, I'm always self-beat. I've always done my own makeup. Like that's just always my thing. It's actually my source of meditation. That's how I get ready for and center myself is by beating my face. And half the time I'm not even thinking about it. So what I thought I'd do today is bring you what my must-haves are for like when I'm performing.
I love it.
It's supposed to just every day, but like this is. So the first thing I have is it's three things, but it's actually one thing. And this is my L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. Sorry, I got a hair in it.
Gotcha.
There. And I use it in, I have 3 colors here, but sometimes I use like 5 of them, you know, to like highlight and contour. I have one that's my skin tone. I do my foundation, but then I also go back with the concealer. I do have a lighter one for highlight, one that's my skin tone, and then another one that's darker for contour. So I cream contour everything like I do foundation, then cream contour with concealer, and blend it all out with a beauty blender. And so this I cannot live without. I've actually thrown these in my, like I have them in my makeup bag just for like even touch-ups, because if you just like spot treat there. This concealer, it's not that expensive, but it's one of the best concealers I've ever used. I'm obsessed with this concealer. I have all my friends using it because the coverage on it is incredible. The payoff, and also it's just like it melds into the skin and it lasts for, well, they say 24 hours, but I don't think I'm going to go 24 hours.
Well, I was going to say, it sounds like if you're using this for when you're performing, I'm sure you're sweating and all that active motion. Sounds like it's bulletproof concealer.
Absolutely. I don't touch up my makeup like during my concerts. I'm on stage for like an hour and a half. The only thing I will touch up is maybe lipstick because my microphone is touch lipstick. Yes. I don't have time to like touch things up. And so when I'm sweating, even though I have the wind machines, I still will I still like will maybe pat with a towel, but I never have to touch this up. It never sweats off. It's always right there.
Is it a wand on the end of the concealer?
Yes, it's like a doe foot, but it's a giant doe foot. Let me show you. It's like a really big doe foot.
Ooh, well, you know, they say size matters.
For sure. It fits right in my bag. I've taken it overnight to like wherever. It's always there. I always have it.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is this. This Juvia's Place. It's called the Warriors Collection. It's a palette, and it's small enough to fit in my bag. What'd you say?
The packaging is gorgeous.
It is, right? It's these warriors. They're like so pretty. But this palette is my everyday go-to color when I'm just on a regular day. But during my show, it becomes my contour and highlight. Like I love it. I actually have this on right now, all on my décolleté. Like the See, it's been used a lot,
Yes,
but
that's
I
how you
have
know
this
it's
one.
tried and true.
Absolutely. This is like the perfect contour color for my skin tone.
Mm-hmm.
This is on my eyes right now. I also have these two on my décolleté, like mixed. I sometimes use these as highlights on my face. I don't know if you probably can't see the light. Oh, there you
Yes. Oh, that's
go.
better. That's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah. And it's a good everyday for eyeshadow. I can like pop it on, but it's really good for contour because we always say in, in stage that you want to be painted for the back row.
Right. Okay.
So you want to make sure that everybody can see you from the back row, even in the cheap seats. And so
Absolutely.
I make sure like contour, everything, jawline, cheekbone, everything. This is I've gone through like 3 of these already.
That's a great palette just for every day, especially if you're a woman of color. And those are some really beautiful, nice earth tone shades. Look, mental note, I'm gonna have to invest in that one.
This is amazing. It's not that expensive either. I'm obsessed with this palette. But what attracted me at first was the packaging because
Yeah,
like these girls are fierce.
listen, this is gonna be very Wakanda forever. I'm here for it.
Very Wakanda, for sure. For
So
sure.
Riley, before you show us number 3, I know, like you mentioned, you performed for the Wizards. You performed at the Kennedy Center. You've been on Watch What Happened Live. How long does it take you to physically perfect and rehearse before a performance? Like, what's your lead time?
Oh, well, it depends on the size of the performance. Like my concert, we rehearsed that for months. We're sometimes like 3 and 4 months for an hour-and-a-half show.
Wow.
So by the time we get on stage, we're not thinking about it. It's muscle memory, and we've got it so good that I can do other things. Like I can play to the audience. My head is not in the performance. It's in the connection with the audience and like really performing. Like it just adds to, it's not in the choreography itself. So we sometimes rehearse for like hours and hours, a night. And then we'll do up until the performance, like up until the night before, we're still rehearsing. And then we'll do like a run through the day of on stage.
Wow. Oh my sweet gherkins. That brings us to the end of part 1 with Riley Knoxx as she shows us what's in her bag. Now, you know what to do. Go ahead and subscribe and turn on those notifications so you don't miss out for part 2. She's going to finish showing us what's in her bag and spill a little bit more tea. So I'll see you next time. Love you lots, and don't forget to like the video. Ciao.